Hello, welcome to the UBC Civil Engineering Information Session. My name is Pierre Berube, and I'm a professor in the Department of Civil Engineering, and I'm also the Associate Head of Undergraduate Programs. You're all likely familiar with the definition of engineering, which is the application of scientific principles to design and build devices and provide services that address challenges and opportunities for clients. Well, when we're dealing with civil engineering, there's a distinguishing feature that our client is society. And what does that actually mean? Well, from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, you use a number of services. And these services are provided by civil engineers to meet the demands of society. So, for example, civil engineers provide the water that you need. They provide the transportation network that gets you from where you are to where you need to go. And to meet these needs of society, civil engineering is actually a grouping of a number of disciplines. And you may ask yourself, well, what would be, for example, the difference between a civil engineer with specialty in materials and a materials engineer? And the answer to that basically is related to who our client is. When we're dealing with civil engineering, recall our client is society. And the needs of society are quite large, or the projects that civil engineers work on are also large. And large projects often mean that they're multidisciplinary, so the different fields of engineering all collaborate together to meet an overall goal. And the discipline of civil engineering is also evolving. Our infrastructure in cities now need to be smart and adapt to our needs. And our cities also need to be healthy and promote well-being. And to meet these evolving needs, civil engineers are using novel materials and approaches. For example, novel nanomaterials that allow infrastructure to basically be around for centuries. And also, for example, manipulating the DNA of microorganisms so that they can help us clean water more effectively. And all that needs to be done with a rapidly changing environment and as our goals become global. So what does the program structure look like in civil engineering? Well, after a common first year of engineering, civil engineers would then spend 2 years furthering their introduction to core civil engineering disciplines, as well as additional math and sciences courses that prepare them for the more advanced and specialized technical electives that you would have in your 4th year. Also in your 4th year, you would participate in a large multidisciplinary capstone project designed to address a specific need of society. And following the bachelor's degree, like with all engineering disciplines, you would then become an EIT, or an engineer in training. And after the 4 years of additional training in the field, you would become a licensed professional engineer. So I've mentioned the profession and briefly introduced the structure of the program, but what about life as a student in civil engineering? Well, the civil engineering department is quite large, and that often means large classes, but it also means greater opportunities, for example, for laboratories where you get hands-on experience, as well as an opportunity to select from a very large number of technical electives that allow you to specialize in your field of interest. And our student population is quite diverse. About 15% of our students are international, and we're happy to have students from approximately 80 countries in our program. And currently, approximately 25% of our students identify themselves as women, and we're happy to see that number grow every year, and we're very committed to our goal of having 50% of the student body represented by women by 2030. With that, I thank you for your attention, and we look forward to answering questions that you may have.